better. I'm trying. Apparently I'm good at talking, but not so much at listening. But I'm working on it. Lots to learn in that regard. But here's the one tip I really want to provide about listening that I think will help out. I know that we've all been in this situation. You're listening to someone talk, and they say something that triggers a thought in your mind. And you start thinking about your response. Oh, I can't wait to respond to what they're saying. And you become so consumed with what your response is going to be that you stop listening. And then you're just waiting for that opportunity. Oh, just waiting for you to stop talking so I can start talking. If you want to become a better listener, learn how to listen starting by listening without judgment, and listening fully to what they're saying, and not worrying about the response. I know that's hard for some people, like me, but being aware of it will really help. So step one to becoming a better communicator, learn how to become a better listener. Number two, when it comes your time to speak, speak to be understood. Speak to be understood. What do I mean by that? Well, certain people, like myself, want you to think that I'm smart. So I like using big words and talking with a lot of jargon and stuff. My background is in engineering, so naturally I want to use a lot of technical terms. Like the other day, I was talking to my friend, saying, I was trying to engage the turbo encapsulator, but the Marzo bays were not perfectly orthogonal to the gimbal bearing, and, well, I don't have to tell you what that means. Well, actually you do, because I have no idea what you're talking about. It's a trap we all fall into, trying to impress others with how we are speaking. So tip on speaking to be understood. Do not use superfluous words. Words like superfluous. Because if you don't know what it means, it doesn't help you. Superfluous, by the way, means more than what is needed, excessive. Use simple words that a 6-year-old can understand, or even someone my age as well, too. So that includes, by the way, be careful with the use of slang. Now, every generation creates a new voice with their own language. It's true for every generation. And that's fine when you're talking to one another. But just be careful when you're talking to others, the use of slang, or like you're using emojis in your text conversation, those can be interpreted in very different ways. Hand signals around the world can be interpreted in very different ways, and some hand signals in the world are friendly and some are just the opposite. So again, speak to be understood. Use words that are easily understood, especially when you're working in much more diverse cultures that we live in today. So that was number 2. Good listener, speak to be understood. Number 3, and here's the big one, practice. Practice, practice, practice. These skills don't come easily for most of us. We have to work at this. It is a real challenge. But we know, just like everything else, you don't learn just by reading or getting information. You've got to do them. So, and that's why this type of program is so good. The chance to do, let's say, public speaking. You get better by doing it. And I have done some things that I went, that didn't go well at all. Well, that's okay. It's part of the process and you have to do it. Practice, practice, practice. So those, I think, are 3 good tips for you if you'd like to become a better communicator. And from there, you can take that into other skills, public speaking, leadership. But if you can do all those things, become a better listener, speak to be understood, and practice it, you'll reap all the benefits of becoming a better communicator. And you might just just hear someone say, verstehe ich. I understand. And with that, I will say, I'll be Zane, and a Toastmaster, or whomever is leading. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don. Don is a member of our Apex Toastmasters group, and as you can see, he's an exuberant and outstanding speaker, and an inspiration to myself and many others. Hopefully, you have learned something, active listening, speak to be understood, and also practice to become better. At this time, we are at the stage for our formal speeches at the students. Looking forward to hearing this, and I'm quite sure they're anticipating this moment. Our first speaker is Ashrita Sharaputla. And the title of Ashrita's speech is The Board That Wouldn't Break. Please help me welcome Ashrita.
Imagine standing in a room, looking at other people breaking their boards, anticipating, when is it going to be my turn? And then you come up, start panicking, because you don't know what to do. Let me take you back from the beginning, because I know that some of you might be confused on what I'm talking about. It all started on a day where I was practicing my taekwondo. I was getting ready for the big finale, my black belt graduation. Now, this is when I thought I was going to be confident and I know that I'm going to crush this, right? But it turns out I'm wrong. You see, everyone there is starting to work hard and practice on their skills. Now here, we have 3 types of things we need to pass in order to graduate and pass. The first one is forms. You're doing a taekwondo form. Then comes sparring, and lastly is board breaking. And if you don't break your board within 3 attempts, you fail, and you don't pass your graduation. And now, I thought that I was a pretty strong board breaker, because we have something which is called a plastic board, which is equivalent to a wooden board, depending on the level that you're breaking, right? So when I was practicing, I knew that I was confident. I was pushing through my board, and I was prepared. I was really strong at it. So I thought I could lay back, chill, and, just aim, So testing comes, and I'm like, man, I feel so strong about my test. And I see everyone practicing, stretching for their competition, and there's just me, standing there, looking around the room, and picturing how it's going to be. Now, my time comes. I am doing my form, and my form came out pretty good. I got a solid 4 out of 4, which is great, which is my confidence level was boosting, rising to the top. And then comes sparring. I'm also pretty good at sparring, and I got a 3 out of 3. Then came my board breaking. Oof, this was a tough one. I see everyone, it was a big line, okay? There were kids that were ranging from the age of 5 to the age of 26. It was a big range. And I see these little kids breaking their boards, practicing, working hard in order to achieve their goal. And I'm just like, wow, look at all these people breaking their board. I'm sure that I could do that too, right? So, I go up, and it's finally my turn to break in front of tens of thousands of people. And then I froze. I started second doubting myself. I was like, wait, am I sure I'm ready for this? I mean, I haven't even touched a single wooden board. I haven't practiced at all. And so I was placing my boards. My hands were shaking. I didn't know what to do. And then my instructor calls me up, and I asked my permission to break my board. months later, I knew I was very prepared this time. I worked more than 100 boards this time. And guess what? I actually broke it. So this isn't just about my Taekwondo experience. It's about sports. It's about a math test you have to, or just something that you want to achieve. You can't just hope for it. You have to actually try and put the effort in and work hard in order to succeed what you want to do. This is the lesson I want you to learn. Persevere and work hard in order to achieve your goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Shriva. I'm sure that was an interesting experience and a lot learned from that experience. At this time, we'll have our second speaker. And just for the audience, as you can see, we're indicating the time using the various cards. As a reminder for the students, at 4 minutes, you will see the green card. At 4 minutes and 30 seconds, the yellow card. And at 5 minutes, the red card. So the speeches are 45 minutes. Our next speaker, the title is The Dangers of AI in the Future. Please come and welcome Javid Karsha.
Good afternoon. Today I'll be talking about the dangers of AI in the near future. So to begin, this April, a new AI came out by Anthropic called Claude Mythos. It was trained to code and program. However, it did something that is far more dangerous. It could find zero-day vulnerabilities, which are exploits it found that can be used immediately without any repercussions. And every operating system and web browser out there. Because of this, Anthropic was forced to lock it down and only use it for trusted companies through a project called Project Glasswing. And it's pricey. They could not release it to the general public. And this proves a lesson that AI is starting to get dangerous. One of the main dangers, which I showed you this example before, are cybersecurity flaws. These are like flaws that can be found in software or on computers or servers or web or internet things. And they can be used, basically malicious things or hackers. They hack these systems and do it for greater harm. So if Mythos were to be released to the public, then devastation would occur and all the servers and everything would basically crumble and get hacked because everyone would use it and basically find hundreds of flaws that haven't been discovered before and exploit it and hack all these servers. So right now I'm going to give out some cards to everyone and you can choose one and I'll talk about a certain topic. Okay, so who wants to go? Raise your hand. Okay. So she chose AGI, and what AGI is basically AI in the near future, which is more intelligent and is able to replicate the intelligence of human. The difference is that it runs thousands of times faster. Many things can go wrong, like maybe it's trying to find a solution, however it thinks of it in a different way, and as a result, it causes something really devastating. For example, if you were to ask this AI to solve climate change, it might think humans are the main problem because we were the ones that affected the environment and think that destroying humans are the main cause. So, and also it could also be used for malicious purposes, as I mentioned with Mythos, but more powerful. So it could cause even more devastation because it does things that are more powerful and it can find deeper exploits. Okay, I'll do the next one. So she chose something called different alignments. What this means is that some AI, when they get smarter, they might not make the same things as us. So that example that I used before is a good way of or good reason. So again, it might think that humans are the only way, and destroy humans, that's the thing. So that's a good example. But also, the main point of this is that it finds shortcuts or bypasses that could be good or bad, and these different human ideals could also do this. Okay, next one. So this is agents of AI. These are AI agents, and unlike your normal AIs that can be, you give it a prompt and it does a response, these models use tools and utilities to do something that produces a bigger impact. So if you were to ask this AI agent to take data and turn it into a report and schedule it into a calendar, it can just do it in multi-step processes. So take the data, then it's going to compress it into a report and put it and schedule it into a calendar. So these type of multi-step AI agents are available now, and this could be a problem because they could take this and do complicated chains of hacking sequences or complicated malicious things. So that's AI agents. So finally, we have deepfakes. These are complicated. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you. Outstanding. And, week after week, our students, they present their speeches, and you can just hear the passion about the things that they're interested in. And I know Rajiv, has shared with us that his goal, his future is to study computer science. And so you can see it coming through. Very proud of you, Rajiv. Nice job. Our next speaker is Shravan Ranpa Krishnan. And Shravan will be speaking about how I got into coding. Please help me welcome Shravan.
Hi everyone, my name is Shravan and I'm going to be telling you guys a little story on how I got into coding. So it was clubs day in school. We all got to select what clubs we got into, and my mom gave me a little mental list of all the clubs I should join. One of these clubs was FBLA. This is a business club, so I was expecting to go into something like marketing or business ethics, but I got into something completely different. So me and my friend were walking to the room to go sign up, and something stood out from this room that wasn't normal. There was a line of around 50 people coming outside of the classroom, all waiting to go sign up for the club. And this was a first come, first serve, so this was a really big issue. I would get into the club, and that would be a really big problem. So naturally, me and my friend cut in front of the entire line and put our names into the dock. We ended up getting in, and it was the first day of the club. We all got put into different events, and I thought I was going to get something business related, but no, I got coding and programming, the most unrelated thing on the entire list. But it was okay, since I was with my best friend, until he left my group to join another one, and it was me and some random dude I had no idea about. I had to code a game in 6 months, but that was plenty of time, right? I didn't do anything for the first 4 months of that. So I basically only had 2 months left, and my mom got an email saying the final competition was in 2 months. And she asked if I finished working. I told her I haven't started. So I had to code a game in 2 months, and I needed to do it fast. I had no prior experience, and what I thought was just going to be a quick, easy 30-minute tutorial turned out to be a 6-hour tutorial that I had to watch twice because I understood none of the code on the first time. So naturally this took a while, and it was 1 month in, and I had finished the main piece of the game, like the attacking, movement, those stuff. Now I just need to make it all pretty. And I thought a month would be a lot of time for that. I was wrong. I didn't do anything for the first 2 weeks of that month because I thought it was going to be really easy. The last 2 weeks, I started coding. I spent my entire weekend coding. I could not get past. And there's just a lot of issues with it. 2 weeks turned into 1 week, turned into 1 day. It was the day before I left to go to the competition. Monday night. And I could not get this boss to work. And this was not something that was optional. Like, I needed this for my game to even qualify for like the bare minimum. So I was just trying to code it. I stayed up 12, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and I still couldn't code it. So instead of staying up all night, I just closed my laptop and I just winged it. So we were out there at around 12 o'clock, and I had just 2 hours to get everything ready. I went to go eat lunch, and I think I opened my laptop 30 minutes before when we were supposed to go present. So just go get everything ready, the presentation, check if there's anything wrong. There was something wrong. What happened was the thing that was supposed to freeze the enemies didn't freeze the enemies, so what would happen was you were on the title screen and you'd be actively dying while you were just looking at the play button. This is obviously a huge issue, and I needed to fix this now. I tried doing anything I could, changing everything, and nothing would work. So what I did was I just froze the entire game until you press the play button, which might sound like it would work, but it didn't work, because what would happen is the text would slowly appear, but since you froze the whole game, the text would not slowly appear. So it was just really awkward when I was trying to present to the guy. And yeah, but I presented and we didn't do too bad. That night we went to Olive Garden and we got results. I got to the next round, which is awesome considering the horrible circumstances I was in. But what happened was I was up at 11, I think, playing games with my friend, and my mom texted me saying, "Hey, you have an event tomorrow, are you asleep?" I said, "No," I go, "What are you talking about?" And then she said, "Yes, you do." She sent me a picture. And I had an event tomorrow at 9 in the morning, and that I didn't know about, and I had to go to sleep. So, and then I tried to go to sleep, and I told my partner about this, and I just couldn't sleep because my friends were watching something on their iPad at max volume. I ended up sleeping at 3. I got 4 hours of sleep, woke up, did my presentation, and I thought we did really well since the judges complimented us, but turns out I did not do very well. I didn't get in, selected to the next round. But it was okay. I found a new hobby. Thank you.
Thank you, Siobhan. Siobhan, you did not get what you wanted from that club initially, right? But you gained a whole world of experience, right? Learning programming, and that will take you a long way. So it's a good opportunity. That's good. All right, so now for our next speaker. So to share with you, our Toastmasters Youth Leadership Program is here to help the students grow as communicators and also to enhance their leadership skills. And during this time frame, we had 2 sets of elected officers for 3 weeks each. And so the next person that I'll be calling on, she was a sergeant at arms in the first set. And also, again, through the speeches, we've learned so much about these students. She's also an accomplished artist in her own right. I would like
Can you turn on the mic? Mic turn off, I guess.
Hi everyone, my name is Hassani, and I'm a junior at Panther Creek High School. If you were to ask most people that know me to describe me in one word, they would probably say artist. And that's pretty reasonable because I spend a lot of my time drawing, probably more than I should. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite artists, a director named Stanley Kubrick, and how his ambition changed the way that I view my own work. When most people think about filmmakers, they usually think about the movies, but when I think about Kubrick, I think about how far he was willing to go to make something exactly the way he imagined in his head. There's a story about when he was filming a movie called The Shining, which you guys might have heard of. In the movie, there's one scene where a character is walking up the staircase. There's not much action going on and not much dialogue either, but there's a lot of emotion. So Stanley Kubrick obviously didn't treat this as a simple scene that it was. He made these actors redo it over and over again. Not 10 times, not 20, but it took over 100 takes to get it exactly how he wanted it to. It took over 100 takes to get it exactly how he wanted it to. Most directors, they obviously would have just stopped when the scene was good enough. But for him, good enough was not the goal. And Stanley Kubrick kept going until it was exactly the way he imagined it to be. This is something I've been trying to incorporate into my own art as an artist. And I've noticed that there have been times where I'm working on a piece and I get to a point where it's not terrible, not amazing, it's just good enough. At this point, I have two options. I can stop there, or I can keep going. Most of the times, I don't want to keep going because I don't like to rework everything. I don't like to see all the flaws that I made up till that point. But when I do realize that those results do pay off. I think about how Stanley Kubrick did over 100 takes for a 30-second scene, and that makes me want to redo it and rework and refine my artwork. You can see this level of ambition in his other works as well, because there's another movie from the 60s called 2001: A Space Odyssey. In this movie, he created graphics and visuals that were so scientifically accurate that they're still considered ahead of their time even now. I think there's something valuable that we can all take away from this. There's a difference between creating something that's good and creating something that's impactful. That's what I learned from Stanley Kubrick. And I think what we can all take from this is that I think taking this extra step is definitely worth it because I'm sorry. Because it makes something actually matter. Because whether it's a film, whether it's a drawing or a painting, or whether it's a speech like this, the effort you put into it shapes it to what it actually becomes. And that's what we can all take away from Stanley Kubrick's method. I don't believe in everything that he does, and I don't think that level of perfectionism is always healthy for everybody, and it can be overwhelming definitely, but I would definitely say that the effort you put into something and taking the extra step is worth it because it doesn't just lead to something that's finished, but it leads to satisfaction. Thank you.
Thanks, Hassini. Toastmasters. As Toastmasters, we are a club. We're there to support our members in a positive and supportive manner. And so, as you can see, Hassini, you brought your message through, and that's what's important to
like a rose. The standard of beauty is not definite. We define it. These words were spoken by Priyanka Chopra, and they raise an important question. If we define beauty, then why do some of us feel like we can never be enough? Take a moment and think about it. How many times have you looked in the mirror and saw something you didn't like? Whether it was your hair, your skin, your nose, one of your eyes is bigger than the other eye. Now, here's the surprising part. The people that you deem are perfect are often thinking these things every single day. The people that you scroll past on social media are often thinking, why don't I look like her? Why don't I look like him? How can I look like them? It's like we're in this cycle, chasing a standard of beauty that is always changing. Beauty standards have never stayed the same. Trends change, styles change, yet the pressure remains. If you look at beauty standards 50 years ago and saw, wow, I would have never dressed like that, oh, I would have never wore that. Well, that was 50 years ago. Look 10 years ago. Would you still wear or do the same things to yourself like how you would then? Yet the pressure remains. And the truth is, that pressure didn't just come out of nowhere. That pressure was created. Media, corporations, social platforms are constantly promoting an image that creates certain features, certain body types, certain looks. But why? Because insecurity sells. If you're insecure and you feel like you need to do something to change it, you are 100% more likely to buy something that could fix you. And that's a fact. The problem is, these standards are completely unrealistic. They're edited, filtered, curated, and sometimes completely unrealistic. Trying to live up to them can leave you feeling drained. It affects your mental health and the stability that you have in yourself. When your value starts to depend on how you look, it's very easy to forget what makes you, you. So what can we do? I know this message is cliche. You've heard this everywhere, since middle school, since you started feeling any way that you are now. Like, it's cliche. But the sooner that you realize that your image doesn't matter as much as you're speaking, is when you truly change. So what can we do? We can start by changing the way of how we view beauty. Instead of asking, do I look good enough? Start asking, am I being myself? Because who you are will always matter more than what you look like. Your personality, your kindness, your honor, your humor, those are things people remember. You're not going to remember what color shirt I'm wearing tomorrow, next year. You're going to remember my speech and how it changed you. At the end of the day, beauty isn't a fixed standard. It's not something you have to chase or achieve. It's something you create individually and collectively. And if we're the ones defining it, then we have the power to make it more inclusive and make sure everyone is connected with each other. So the next time you look in the mirror, don't search for flaws. Look at yourself, and you are never too much. Thank you.
Thanks, Samantha. Samantha's message is very timely, especially for our young students. I know it can be a pressure going to school and also living up to what's expected in the social media world, which is so false. Our next speaker is a young man who I'm very proud of. And the reason why I say this, I've had much time to engage with him. He's our secretary and past VP. And part of his role is to provide a summary of the meeting, pretty much the meeting minutes, right? There was one time when I called him and he later returned my call. And he said, Mr. Simone, I was driving, so I couldn't take your call. So I'm now able to follow with you. And he takes his role very seriously, following up with detailed minutes. That's been very helpful for students who have not worked, who are not at that class. But again, very good. And at this time, I would like to introduce Bhavani Vikuri. The title of his speech is What's Next? Please come and welcome Bhavani.
So a few months ago, I couldn't sleep. And it was one of those nights where your mind is just racing and there's nothing you can really do about it. So I did the simplest thing I could think of. I went outside. No phone, no music, just peace and quiet. So while sneaking out of the house, I was thinking, what if I look up at the sky? It's pretty peaceful, right? So I go outside and I'm looking out. And in reality, it's not peaceful. For me, it's chaotic. It's enormous, extremely enormous, uncomfortably enormous. In the sky, there are thousands of planets, thousands of galaxies, suns, stars, so many. And it takes thousands, if not millions of years for that light that we're seeing to reach us. And for that light to reach us. It's a long time, thousands, millions of years. And so I'm thinking from the driveway, oh, I probably know everything about space, right? But in reality, we don't. So I realized that whenever we think about space, we seem as if we're really familiar with it. But in reality, we're not. In fact, space is unknown. It's intimidating. Nobody really knows that much about it. We think we've explored everything, but we haven't. And this causes, nervousness, intimidations. We feel anxious. And these same feelings have led to all of the major, everything we've done as a society, as a species, everything has stemmed from this feeling. Whether it's medical innovations, whether we're talking about even fire, or planes, all this is stemmed from this feeling. When we're talking about space flight, the Apollo 11 missions, these missions were stemmed from this exact feeling. Nobody thought we would ever land on the moon. And look what happened. We sent 3 astronauts to the moon, 2 of them walked, and we've never done that, we never expected that. So, we're standing on this exact edge today. Well, it's not governments that are, racing for prestige. It's companies like SpaceX that are launching rockets daily, launching them, landing them, refueling them, and launching them once more. And this might seem like a small detail. Oh, what's the point? They're launching a rocket every single day. How does that matter? But this is actually the difference between what makes space travel rare and what makes it routine. When space travel becomes routine, people like us, people who have no relation to space, not just astronauts, people like us, have the ability to travel to space. And this is important because our goal is to travel to Mars. We're trying to leave the Earth. That is what we're meant to do. That's our destiny. And you might think, why Mars? It's so cold, it's dry, it's unforgiving. If you've seen The Martian, then you know the astronaut that NASA sent to Mars, he almost died like 50 times. So what's the point? It's not a vacation spot. But the point is, we're trying to go to Mars because we're curious. We're curious. We don't want to stay here. We're going to use up all the resources. All of these are certain issues, and this is the reason that we're trying to leave the Earth. Well, it's not just that we're curious. We want to see ourselves, our society, as people working together. We don't want to discriminate. Some people, we want to see our species not as people from different countries, religions, or ethnicities, but we want to see all humanity working together. We want to see all.
Push it on.
We want to see all of humanity work together and move beyond. So whenever you see a star in the sky, don't see it as a destination or just a random star. That is one part in the journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bhavani. And we have a possible scientist always talking about the future of space and for another great leader. And I'm here talking about how much I'm proud of one person or the other. I am proud of all students, so I want to make that very clear. Our next speaker is Tanish Gadowell. Tanish's speech topic is Do Video Games Make You Smarter? Please help me welcome Tanish.
Okay, so we've all heard it or said it before. Video games are bad for you. My dad definitely says it whenever I'm playing. So, the question is, are video games actually bad for you? Well, what are video games? Video games aren't just flashing lights and clicky buttons. They're actually secret life skills embedded into technology. So, first of all, games like Minecraft, they teach you on conserving and building. There's building and you can beat mobs. So I'm not here to tell you that grinding Minecraft for 8 hours will get you an A on your math test tomorrow. But these are some more reasons on why video games are actually better than you think. Second, puzzles and strategy games are like workouts. So they help you build skills on your problem solving. And in Minecraft, you build and manage resources. That's basically like 3D engineering. In Portal, you solve physics puzzles by testing ideas and failing and trying again, which teaches you on how to have success. Even reading gets boosted. The average kid reads more words playing the story game like Skyrim than they do in English class every day. Third, game consoles such as Xbox can teach you about cars, such as Forza. Forza is a driving car simulator, which can teach you on how to use F1 cars and drive on the road. Other game consoles such as Wii teaches you sports and many other stuff, including cricket, soccer, baseball, and many of the other sports you guys like to play. But here's the real talk. Not all apps are equal as games. Watching TikTok for 6 hours is not equivalent to playing a game. But games also help you take stuff off your mind and give you good dopamine levels. So, do video games make you smarter? They can train you in ways that other schools and extracurricular activities don't. And maybe instead of banning them, we should pay more attention to what we're learning from them. Because maybe the next engineer, doctor, or any other job career you know, right now could be playing with a Nintendo Switch.
Thank you, Tanish. I wonder if Tanish is, do you come with your parents at home? Yeah? Okay. Our eighth speaker is Shriyani. Shriyani's speech title is My Journey as a Balticus Teacher. Please help me welcome Shriyani Satapathy.
meditation, bhajans, slokas, and many other activities that help them become a better person than who they were yesterday. To help them gain moral values that are important for their life. But to me, Balavikas is not just something where I learn, but it's a place where I have grown, and it's a place which has helped me become someone that can help others become a better person. Good afternoon, my name is Shirami Sadbani. I'm a junior at Penderwick High School, and I am the teacher for this program. It all started when I was 5 years old in New Jersey. At the time, I wasn't too sure about learning. I wasn't too sure about teaching. I didn't really feel like being in a leadership position. I was more into snacks, my friends, and whether I needed to sit and listen to teachers yap to me for a good 2 hours. But I didn't realize at the time that those yap sessions helped me learn many important things, such as gratitude, responsibility, and kindness. Then I became 11 years old, where I started to volunteer at this program. That was when I first saw teaching, and that was when I first saw Balavikas in the other side. I was no more a student who was listening to these yap sessions, who was listening to these teachers telling me about how to be a better person, who was following their orders of doing sun salutations, doing different yoga poses. I was now the person that was telling others, that was telling younger students to do these yoga positions, to learn to be a better person, to be able to get more values that are important in your life. And when I was teaching them, I realized that learning is not just explaining something to somebody else. Learning was more of being patient, giving gratitude to others, helping others become better, and also learning yourself and making learning fun and memorable to others. When I was teaching, I felt joy. I felt joy in helping others become a better person. I felt joy in knowing that I was somebody in their life who helped them grow, who helped them get leadership skills, teamwork skills. That was until I was 13 and moved to North Carolina. At first, I was excited. New school, new friends, new neighbors. I could just be a new person. I could be a better person than I was in New Jersey. But I also felt a bit of sorrow. That was because there was no Balavikas program in the area that I was living in. That was until me and my mom met Sujata, who is a core member at this temple and who has also helped us in creating this program and running it to its full potential. I would like to thank her because without her, I wouldn't have been able to continue my journey as a teacher in Balavikas. Then, when we started this program, I started with 20 kids. It was a bit small compared to the 100+ kids we had in New Jersey, but I was still all right with that because I was able to form a stronger connection between them. I was able to know their new personalities. Some people were quiet, some people were energetic, some people were shy to be on stage. But in the end, we formed a bond which was stronger than ever. Still, being a teenage teacher, there were some doubts. Some people doubt me. Is she really fit to be a Balavikas teacher? I mean, yeah, I was young. I'm still young, and I still make mistakes. But despite that, despite my age, I feel like it is easier to teach others because I can relate to them. I still am young, and I still relate to how stressful having to connect with others while also working on school and working on projects and big activities. But in the end, I was able to persevere and I'm able to help others persevere to these same situations. My journey started as a kid when I was 5 years old, sitting next to my mom. Then, when I started volunteering. And then it continued after I took a short break from being here. Now I am who I am, and I am able to teach over here, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Shriani. We are halfway through the speaking order here. You know, it's been really good watching these students progress in their journey as speakers. And I was reminded to inform the parents to celebrate this milestone with them. I know sometimes giving speeches, sometimes we may forget a thought. It's okay, it happens, and we learn from these. And so we do give them feedback in our weekly session. Today we will not be giving them any evaluations, and I was asked to remind the parents, the students know where they could have done better. For me, they have been doing good, so just know that.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Krisha. Krisha's speech title is The Lines We Think We Would Never Cross. The Lines We Think We Would Never Cross. Please help me welcome Krisha Shaw.
So, I want you guys to imagine this. Maybe, let's say you and your friend want to play a game. Like a prison role play, your friend is the guard, and you're the prisoner. Now, as you're playing the game, you all know it's pretend, right? Like, you're not actually a criminal. But suddenly, as the more you play the game, it just becomes really hard to tell what's real and what's pretend. I mean, your friend starts acting like your friend. Your friend starts becoming harsher and meaner, treating you like an actual criminal. So, actually, this wasn't a game. This was an experiment called the Stanford Prison Experiment via 1971. And when the studies came out of this experiment, it shocked all of media everywhere. I mean, are we really just cruel people? We started asking ourselves, is human cruelty innate? Are we capable of becoming the very things we fear? And I think that there's one novel that really kind of encapsulates this idea well, called Tender is the Flesh. In this novel, animal meat becomes toxic to consume. So, society legalizes the breeding and slaughter of people. Now, when this first came out, everyone was shocked, disgusted. This is unreal. This is impossible. But, as time goes on, as we shift, we adapt, suddenly those same humans that were being fought for their rights, suddenly are now being processed, categorized, and objectified. So, let's take this back to psychology. Why do humans do things that are bad? Well, see, our brains don't like to feel guilty. We don't like to think we're bad people. So, we rationalize our actions. We justify things we did wrong. Think maybe at the time you use an excuse. Oh, I had to do it. Oh, well, if they were in my position, they would do it too. I had no choice. These aren't excuses. These are ways of protecting ourselves from how we see ourselves. Nobody wants to believe that their
you're a bad person. So I think that as we start to ask ourselves, start to see more about ourselves and learn about ourselves, the line, we like to think that there is a line between us and them. No one wants to believe that they're the next Hitler. But suddenly it becomes hard to see that line if we're not careful. So instead of asking, why are people bad? We're just bad people. Maybe we should start asking the real question, why do people do bad things? Thank you, that was my speech.
Thank you, Krisha. Krisha's speech, they're always thought-provoking. Leaves you with something to think about, right? And Krisha, thanks for your speech presentation. Our next speaker is Ishan Ramesh. His speech title is 2% You're Pulling Back. Ishan is currently our vice president, and I must say he's also a great negotiator. Ishan was able to convince almost 2/3 of the students to switch their voting name from one that was up, like almost ready to be assumed for the name. He convinced everyone. He went to each student and convinced them, and that's how we came up, that's how we arrived at the name, the Talkies. Please have a welcome, Ishan.
So before I start, I'm going to ask every single one of you to do something. Just do something for me. It's very simple. I want you guys to raise your hand as high as you can. Come on. All of you. All right. Now, hold it. All right. Now I want you guys to raise it just a little bit more higher. A little bit more. All right. Look around the room and just take a quick look, and that's how you put it down. Now, what I just asked you to do, it might be very simple, right? But I want you to think about what I actually made you do. First, I asked you guys to raise your hand as high as you can. Then, I asked you to do something which shouldn't make sense. I asked you guys to raise it a little bit more higher. Highest, you shouldn't mean maximum, your limit. But how come you guys were able to raise it just a little bit more higher? That's what I'm going to talk about today. I want to talk about why did that happen? What changed? Did your arm magically grow longer? Did you become stronger all of a sudden? No, right? And this kind of applies to me in a personal way, and it happens to everyone. Me, in my case, it happens to me in academics. If I'm taking a test, I have two options. I can either take my time and check out my answers and be the last kid who everyone's waiting on to leave the class, or I can just submit it and be like a normal dude and finish on time. Well, whenever you submit like an assignment and without double checking, your chances of failing or getting mistakes are significantly more higher. And this doesn't just happen to me, it happens to everyone in this room. It could be from academics, sports, and even your personal life. In academics, it could be just a scenario I just said right now. You submit a test, but double check. It feels small in the moment, but can turn out big later. In sports, you're in practice and you're starting to slow down towards the end. And it might be small in the moment, you feel like no one's watching you. It might be like very, very small, but in the long run, it can make a big impact. That one more lap could increase your stamina by a lot, and your personal life. If you mess up that one habit feels a little small in the moment. And then again, in that moment, you would do anything. You would slow down. You would realize that, I made a mistake, but it's fine. I can make it up later. Well, that one mistake, it doesn't just stop there. It starts piling up. It starts adding and adding and adding until it becomes where it's something you can't escape. Your assignments. You failed one assignment, it's fine. You can make it up. And I agree, mistakes can be made, but it's the amount of mistakes that you make. That one assignment can turn into multiple assignments. That it can turn into B grade or C or even an F. And sports, you lose one game, it's fine, because losing happens all the time. But then you start having a streak of losing games over and over and over again. And that one habit that you broke turns into your entire routine falling apart, and you collapse it right in front of you, which throws up everything off balance. And, well, in the moment, things don't really matter, right? You can make it up, and you can do things differently or something. But the result is the only thing that we're looking forward to. We would do anything for the, we'll do effort, but the result is the only thing we'll be looking forward to. The effort directly corresponds with your result. If you put so-and-so effort, you get so-and-so result. If you finish short in line for the effort, you get short in line in the result. So now, you guys don't realize that you're trying your best. You think you're trying your best. You think you're doing the only things you can do. You think that this is all I can do. This is the maximum effort I can possibly put. But that's the thing. You never try to go beyond that limit. That limit is the only thing that you have inserted in your life. You think you can, that's your limit, but you never try to go beyond that. That's the only reason why a limit exists, because you have to find out what's after that limit. If not, if you can't do it, then that's your true limit. So the next time you guys start like doing some activities or a test, or in your case, a project or something, I want you guys to think, am I really done? Am I, if so, is it the best I can do? Is it the thing that I can prove to other people that this is my best work? And so, this case, it's a student, but tomorrow it might be your job. It might be a job interview. It might be a new scholarship. But anything you do, make sure you put 100% effort and make sure you test it out. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sally McKenna, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about agriculture. First, with a show of hands, who here wears perfume? Hello. Okay, good majority of us. Did you guys know that the chemical that's used in these fragrances to make the scent last longer actually comes from whale secretion? I know, sounds a bit nasty, right? But my point here is that when most people think of agriculture, they think of livestock and animals and fresh produce that comes off farms. But what a lot of people don't realize is animal byproducts, glue sticks, perfumes, and even food, clothes, fur jackets, so many things that we use every day come from these animal byproducts. I'll give you guys another example. Anyone here familiar with the candy Twizzlers? That's my favorite candy. Up until last semester, when I took Animal Science 1, I didn't know that little red powder that you use to dye these candies red is a powder that comes from crushed up insects. Again, nasty fact. But this brings me to my next point. Agriculture is something that has integrated its way into each and every one of our daily lives. And most people don't even realize that. And this is why I believe in the future of agriculture, with a faith born not of words, but of deeds, achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturists, and the promise of better days through better ways. We may struggle, we just have to persevere though. I believe in leadership from ourselves. I believe in respect from others, and I believe in my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly, with such knowledge and skill as I can secure, and in the ability of progressive agriculturists to serve our own and the public interest in producing and marketing the products of our toil. I believe in less dependence on begging, and more power in bargaining, in the life abundant and enough honest wealth to help make it so for others as well as myself. I believe in less need for charity. However, I believe in more need for charity when needed. I believe in being swear that those exact things depends upon me. And I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community. Now, you may be wondering, you're talking about a lot of things that don't really connect with agriculture. And why is your speech called Back to the Roots? Well, my grandparents and my forefathers are all farmers, and growing up, I did have a pretty good connection with them. So a specific moment that stuck with me is a couple years ago, when me and my family took a trip to India. I remember a summer evening, they might have been having a snack downstairs. My entire family was downstairs. I had finished my snack and was wandering around. I remember being in my dad's eldest sister's house. She has this beautiful 3-story house with an open terrace on top. And their house was built on acres of land around it. I remember going up in the hot summer heat and just staring out into the lush grass and the fields surrounding the house. And to me, I realized that all this I had never been in touch with. I didn't even know that my own cousins and my relatives were farmers until I had seen it myself. And I think agriculture is something that not a lot of people think about, even though it's something that impacts each and every one of us. And I hope the next time you guys meet Twizzlers, you remember my speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Saiti. I'm trying to cut back on sugars, but I'm quite sure each time I go to the store and I see a Twizzler, I will remember Sai. Sai, thanks for educating us about how agriculture is helping us and how we're using it in ways that we aren't aware of. Okay, we're on the countdown. We have speaker number 12, Shrikar Marcharla. Shrikar's speech title is Social Media a Boon or a Bane in Modern Education? Please have a welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shrikar, and I'm currently a freshman at Green Hope High School. So imagine yourself waking up one day and you realize that your classroom is no longer limited to 4 walls, but the entire world is in your classroom, available on your phone, anytime, and anywhere. So this is the reality of education in 2026. So as we all know, social media includes platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. But this raises a question: is social media a boon or a bane to modern education in 2026 and students like me? So let's dive deeper into it. But firstly, let's know the bright side of using social media. Social media has completely transformed how students learn. It has made education more interactive and more accessible. Students can watch educational content and videos on platforms like YouTube and other online streams. In fact, many studies show that 40% of students across the globe use platforms like YouTube to watch educational content and educational videos. And secondly, social media promotes collaborative learning and teamwork. Students can use platforms like Discord, Facebook, or Twitter to make some study groups and discuss class topics and also research on projects, which promotes teamwork. And thirdly, social media encourages creativity and self-expression. Students can use platforms like YouTube or Facebook or Instagram to showcase their talents like art, writing. If you write so well, and cooking, or if you play a musical instrument. So this creates a positive digital presence, which is so useful for college applications and potentially for job applications too. And fourthly, social media connects students and experts globally. Social media, like students of my age can use platforms like LinkedIn to connect with industrialists and professionals across the globe to research on their specific potential career paths. And so let me give my personal example. I had my Python certification yesterday, and I'm so new to programming. So I was well prepared with the content, but I wanted to practice tests and wanted some explanations for the questions. So I went on to YouTube and searched for PECP certification practice questions, examples, and those helped me to pass the certification eventually. And think of Shah Khan, I guess you guys know. He firstly started his teaching career using YouTube videos for uploading math tutorials to help his cousins. And now he's offering world-class and free education, which is aiding students worldwide to get free education and help with their schoolwork. So this shows that social media has made education more interactive, accessible, and also good. So every coin has two sides. So we must also look at the dark sides of using social media. One of our biggest problems is lack of focus, avoiding distractions, the lack of ability to avoid distractions, and also time management. So instead of studying, many students spend hours and hours of time scrolling through YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. And many studies show that 65% of students across the globe admitted that they're being distracted by using phones, especially social media, when they're actually on their classes. So this is one of the cons of using social media. And secondly, social media spreads a lot of misinterpretations and fake news. So not everything available online is actually true. So you must look at authenticated sources and also very reputed sources like New York Times or Times of India to look at some good news and then share it with the community. Do not, everything available online is actually not true, so don't share it unless you know that it's actually true. Thirdly, social media is excessive use of social media can lead to lack of discipline, lack of focus, and lack of fitness management. So do not use social media a lot, just use it until in your free time for 10 to 15 minutes. And then fourthly, this is a major issue. Social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp has all of our personal data, and they use our data as a source of income. And also excessive use of social media can lead to cyberbullying and also privacy concerns, which may lead to lack of confidence, which negatively impacts a student's behavior and academic performances. So, if misused, social media can actually be a major obstacle in education rather than support system. So, in conclusion, social media is a boon if you use it, utilize it in the right way, utilize it to reach our goals. But it is definitely and will be certainly be a pain if we let it distract us from our goals. So thank you for listening to me, and I want to thank SSMNC management for hosting this 8-week session for us. I was actually not involved in public speaking a lot, and I started it. So I guess I have improved a bit, and I'll be working on it. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Sarana. Sarana's speech title is We Have a Right to Our Education. Please help me welcome Sarana Agarwal.
Recently, I stepped off my bus and I noticed that there was a protest outside of my school. Now, this protest was being led by teachers, which was interesting because this protest was about the educational budget cuts in our state. Now, you may ask, why was it teachers and not students who were leading this protest? And the very simple answer is because we students didn't know about the tremendous amount of money that was being taken out in public school systems, which are already underfunded. Hi, my name is Sarana Agarwal, and I'm here to talk to you about why students should have more of a say in the school education system. First and foremost, we have to talk about the fact that the education budget cuts are not just a problem in the state of North Carolina. This is a problem in the nation. Recently, a recent administration has taken out about $6.2 billion out of public education, which is paid by taxpayer money. Private schools are funded privately, yes, but public schools? These are already don't have facilitations to support their students. Now, where is this money going? This money is going to infrastructure, it's going to technology, and these are all very important sectors of our foundation. But is it educating the youth of the next generation just as important? Well, in the state of North Carolina, we have taken out about $135 million out of the school funding system. And let me tell you a little bit about what happens when we take out money out of an already underfunded school. So we have very different styles of learning, and the first thing that a school does when it's underfunded is take out budget from special education students. Now, special education has a bit of a stigma around it in our country, and we think of them as people who are disabled and have learning disabilities. And yes, that's true. A person who has special education needs can be someone who's disabled, someone who has dyslexia or ADHD or Down syndrome. But it can also be someone at the very opposite end of that section. It can also be someone who has accelerated learning and who adapts information and absorbs information very quickly. Now, what we do is we take students at both ends of the spectrum and they put them in one classroom. So we have one teacher, 30 students, vastly different ways of learning. How is that teacher going to spend time and attention to each of these students? It's not possible. And more so, they have around 135 students throughout the entire day. It's just not possible for them to give each student the attention that they deserve. So now you may be asking, why are students not raising their voices about this? Well, we are. We just don't have a place to say. We don't have a say in the school board. What we can do is we can do speeches, like I am, and we can do protests, like what I saw. But we don't have actual representation, which is really strange. Across the world, we have seen examples of when people who are dependent have raised their voices to have a say in the governing body. Now, in the United States itself, we have the colonists who raised their voice and said that they want a voice in the British Parliament. Why are students, the ones who are most affected by the decisions of the school board, not allowed to raise their voices and have representation on the school board? I think that students, with the help of you guys, can really have the power to raise their voices and make change in the school board. And we all have a role to change and reshape the future of education. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarana. And Sarana, thank you for reminding us how important it is. And hopefully, Sarana, using her voice to inspire other students, they made a change. Our 14th, and final speaker is current President Raghavendra Sunil Kumar. The title of Raghav's speech is Why Problem Solving is the Most Important Skill Today. Please help me welcome Raghav.
Hello everyone, my name is Raghav and I'm a freshman at TMSA. My speech is called Why Problem Solving is the Most Important Skill Today. All of us face problems, some big, some small. Examples include finishing homework on time, making decisions. In fact, I think my sister considers my presence a problem. Problems are a normal part of life, and what really matters is how we deal with them. Problem solving isn't just about math or science or just memorizing formulas. It's about understanding the situation and making the best out of it. The world is constantly changing, and especially now due to AI, many jobs are becoming less prominent, while others are being more prominent. So now I want you guys to do something. So if you faced a problem in the past week, raise your hand. There we faced didn't go as you expected, like keep your hand raised. So that should be everything, because like everybody faces problems. So this is why this topic is so important, because problem solving is a very, very important skill. Now let's dive into an example. So let's imagine you're doing a group project at school, and the day before the project is due, you check, and you notice that one person hasn't done anything at all. You have two options. Your first option is just panic, complain, and not get anything done. While your second option is stay calm, communicate with others, and get your work done. In both of these examples, the situation was the exact same, but what changed was the way you approach the problem. Now let's think about real life. Doctors, they diagnose patients, so they solve problems. Students, they manage their personal life, school life, a lot of things. They solve problems. Engineers, they design things, they'll build things, they also solve problems. These are all different situations, but with the same core skill. Success isn't just about talents, having good talent or grades. It's about how you manage things when things don't go as you expect. Let's take Albert Einstein for example. He was considered a bad student when he was in school, but he still became famous. How? Through his creativity and problem-solving skills. Problem-solving also helps you become more independent as you learn to make your own decisions, and it builds confidence as small wins add up over time. Soon problems will stop feeling like obstacles, and they'll feel like just another puzzle to solve. Problem solving isn't easy. It's hard. I get it. I'm also learning how to solve problems. And failure is a part of the process. So, how can you get better at problem solving? Ask better questions. Instead of saying, I can't do this, this is impossible, what you can say is, what you can ask is, what can I do next? You can also break down the problem into smaller parts, or just try a different approach. Don't stop after the first failure. So to conclude, problem solving isn't just another skill, or just a school skill or a job skill. It's a life skill. Everybody needs this. And failure, the next time you face a problem, pause, don't avoid it, step towards it, break it down, and solve it. As every problem you solve shapes you, and you shape the future. Thank you.
Please give a round of applause to our speaker. They've all done a really outstanding job, really good. At this time, we're a bit behind, about 10 minutes roughly. We have the debate section. And at this time, I would like to turn it over to Michelle Ryder. She's a fellow Toastmaster and also our assistant coordinator for this workshop. Please come up, Michelle.
Thank you, Simone. Hats off to all the students for fantastic speeches today. Let's give them one more round of applause. I learned a lot. You guys did awesome. Fantastic. So when we were figuring out what we wanted to do for this showcase or final event for today, it was actually the students who decided that they also wanted to have a debate at the end. So I'm excited to lead that as the moderator of the debate today. And this debate is going to be slightly different from what you might think about when you think about a regular debate, where there's a winner and a loser of the debate. That's not what we're going to have today, actually. We're going to have more of a discussion. We're going to have two opposing sides for each of the three questions that we're going to ask. The very broad topic is, you might have guessed, what have we heard a lot of today? AI. The very broad topic is AI. Is it beneficial or detrimental? So we're going to have three questions, and again, two opposing sides. We have Team A and Team B. We will have representatives from each side arguing three different questions that have been posed to them. Before we get started, I would love to introduce our two team captains. Please welcome Krisha and Samantha up to the stage here.
have other mic, and both have mics.
Oh, will they, is it gonna interfere with each other?
No, no, no.
It's gonna be okay?
That doesn't-
Okay, guys, I would like each of you to do a little introduction for yourself. Take it away.
Hello, respected moderators and members of the House. Every time a new tool is invented, from the printing press to the internet, people are afraid. But history shows that those who embrace technology are the ones who build the future. Today, that tool is artificial intelligence. I am proud to propose the motion that AI is a fundamental force for good. We will show that AI isn't here to take over. It is here to help us solve problems we couldn't fix alone. The three pillars that we are going to discuss today is social media safety, creativity, and AI in schools. AI doesn't replace human brilliance, it empowers it. For these reasons, the motion must stand. Thank you, and I would love to pass it on to Samantha.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me ask you something. If something makes life easier, does it automatically make it better? Artificial intelligence is everywhere, helping students complete assignments, generate ideas in seconds, and controlling what we see on social media. It's fast, convenient, and powerful. But convenience doesn't always come with a cost. Today we're going to talk about what AI can do. We're questioning what it can do to us. We will be exploring 3 key issues. Should students be allowed to use AI for schoolwork? Is AI making people less creative? And is AI doing more harm than good on social media? While AI is a helpful tool, we, on the con side, believe its growing influence is creating more problems than solutions. From weakening critical thinking in students, to limiting genuine creativity, to negatively shaping our online experiences. AI is quietly changing the way we think about things. We learn and interact. This isn't just about technology, it's about independence, originality, and truth. So as you listen today, ask yourself, are we using AI, or is AI starting to use us? Thank you.
Thanks to you both. Fantastic. So during the debate where we asked the different questions, I have a question for you, Samantha and Krisha. Would you like your teammates to sit or stand during their responses?
Sit, please.
Sit, please. Okay, so I think we're going to need to figure out how to get 4 chairs up here then. Is that correct?
It's okay. Stand.
Okay, they can stand? Okay. It's good to stand. We've been sitting for a long time. Okay, great. For our first question, we're going to need 2 people from each team. And from Samantha's team, I would like to invite Shervan and Tamish up. Shervan and Tamish. And from Krisha's team, I would like to invite Jeevith and Srikar, please. All right, guys, you have a microphone on your side? Fantastic. The question for you each is, should students be allowed to use AI for schoolwork? Should students be allowed to use AI for schoolwork? I'd like to start with the pro side. So from Krisha's team first, please.
So AI can be beneficial because 92% of students in 2026 use AI tools for their studies, and 64% of students use AI daily or weekly to help them understand difficult coursework. So there are many tools that can benefit people, like Notebook LM, which I personally use for ELA quizzes, and it's really powerful. Like Notebook LM and these tools, what they can do is take your schoolwork or source work and give you quizzes, which eliminates like the manual usage of study buddies or like these old things. You can do everything by yourself. These AI quizzes, videos, they have all this stuff. So AI is getting more powerful and easier to use and can benefit people in study a lot. And yeah, I'll move on.
So every teacher in our generation has said it once. No using AI yourself. Yet students still tend to use it. Many students use AI worldwide, whether it's for research or to complete their assignments. The idea of allowing AI tools in classrooms might sound modern and efficient, but in reality it risks weakening the foundation of education. At its core, learning is not just about getting the right answer. It's about getting the process of struggling through a problem, making mistakes, and figuring things out independently, meaning learning the material. The process builds critical thinking and creativity, which are very important for students.
So AI might be like, you can't fully trust it, but what you can do is like help it to assist. So you can assist it with like those quizzes I mean, and you can help it, you can use it to assist with whatever you use. So if you're trying to help study for a test, you can help it you can use it as an assistance to help you study specifically. So you could use it to create questions, you could use it to boost your scores. And because of that, well, schools utilizing AI for personalized learning has reported a 15% increase. So there are benefits to it, like proven benefits. So you can
Although there are benefits, power comes with responsibility. Some people might compare AI to things like calculators, but that's just an incorrect reference. Calculators are just tools that input and output answers. AI can give you full detailed responses on anything. You can make a full essay if you wanted to by yourself. It completely replaces learning if you don't have the proper responsibility, and just doesn't let you have the ability to think independently. It just takes that away. Another thing is that AI can also be incorrect. AI uses random sources like Facebook and Reddit. Those posts can be completely wrong. Anyone can post them. Another issue is AI can get you in a lot of trouble. It's really easy to detect even just by reading it. And there's also AI detection software. AI uses a lot of those long EM dashes. It's really easy to identify. You can get someone in trouble for it. It's really not worth the risk.
Yeah, you don't need to use AI in your schoolwork to cheat, but you can, if you're taking AP Word or some AP courses, you can just ask it to create a quiz, then message to test preparation. You just don't need to use it on the test prep. I mean, many children who actually don't afford for tutors, they can use AI as tutor for their tests and everything. So AI is mostly beneficial.
Also, there are also multiple stuff you can use for research, like Perplexity. That's a tool that's like designed for research. Instead of making information by using general knowledge databases that it has to go in, it searches through multiple like factual research sites, like lots of them, and then generates an output. So it's better. There's also AI tools for that, such as Perplexity or AI search, and basically any AI tool that utilizes searching the web for sources.
So extra help is important, but AI isn't always reliable. It can give incorrect information or misleading information, and students may not know how to catch those mistakes. Anyways, extra support isn't giving you double credit. When students rely on AI to generate essays, solve equations, or analyze text, they skip that struggle completely. The result is that they may complete assignments, but they do not truly understand the material. When students use AI to write essays, solve math problems, or answer questions, they go straight to the answer without knowing how they got there. That means they might finish the assignment, but they do not learn anything.
So you said that AI can also mislead and its answers not actually reliable, but that's not always the case. I mean, the research says that AI can sometimes trying to mislead people, but it's not. It's almost correct every time because it searches through a lot of reliable sources and that gives you the output. So you could, I mean, you said that using AI on your essays or to solve math problems is wrong, but you could still use it to help you do that because you can get help from AI anytime, anywhere without needing tutors. So you could just use it to like, make you better and be productive.
They can do that, but the issue is many people don't have the responsibility to do that. Many people just use AI, go through their assignment, and are just done with it. Instead of doing that, why use AI? You might as well go to your teacher and learn it by yourself. Because at that point, there's really just no point using AI unless you're trying to cheat.
And also in fine print at the bottom, it always says to check, double check, because AI may be incorrect. So yeah.
So, well, I've noticed like with Gemini recently, for the double check thing, they have that. They have a feature that now allows you to double check your Gemini answers with Google search, and when you click it, it shows you what part of the answer is fact checked with Google search sources. And also, with AI, you don't necessarily, you could use it to improve, as I said, but you don't need, it's not that you shouldn't completely use it. Like you shouldn't let AI do everything for you, but you should use it to enhance stuff. Like, it's perfectly okay. My teachers say it's perfectly okay to use AI to enhance things or see what you did wrong. You should use AI to maybe help you or enhance your speech in that part.
So, yeah, as you said, Gemini has actually many features. You said that AI can sometimes mislead, but nowadays there are many features. There are many features like fast and deep thinking or something. So, it's not always wrong. And also, I mean, you actually should not use AI to do your final essays, but you can still use it to just get some ideas, brainstorming ideas to just know what you should do and use it to assist you.
AI is very useful, but people just can't control themselves. People are just going to use it to cheat. And it's a really good tool, but if you can't control yourself, then what's the point of even using it? You're just going to be cheating instead of learning.
And if students keep depending on AI, they may stop thinking for themselves overall. They might struggle to come up with their own ideas or solve problems without help. So like the premium features of AI, they offer a lot, but then you're just not going to know everything. And school is not just about finishing work, it's about learning skills that will help us in the future. If AI is doing the thinking for us, then we're not building those skills.
Sure, if you entirely depend on AI, you'll forget stuff. But with AI, what you could use is, there's also benefits if you use it in moderation. So, people save a lot of time. Basically AI can stop repetitive tasks, and it causes stuff like higher motivation. Specifically teachers that use AI, they save 6 hours per week or 6 weeks per school year when they use AI to optimize things. So AI is perfect for optimization or doing the repetitive tasks for you, and that's it. Thank you.
That was a really good job. What I was really impressed with was that there was a lot of active listening and responding to each other. So that was good. You didn't come up only with your own opinion, but you actually reflected what the other person was saying too. You guys did a really, really good job with that. Very nice. We have a second question for the debate team today. And from Krisha's team, I would like to welcome up Hasini and Shriyani. And from Samantha's team, I'd like to welcome up Sai and Ashritha. held up the green card when we reached 8 minutes, the yellow card when we reach 9, and the red card when we are done at 10 minutes. So be on the lookout for the timing cards as well. The question for you guys to talk about is AI making people less creative? Is AI making people less creative? And we're going to start with Samantha's team for this. Go.
So we think AI does make kids less creative because kids that were able to write whole essays without using a single source of AI now can't even write a single one short story without using AI. And if schools use AI every day to come up with new stories and essays, eventually they'll struggle to form their own ideas.
And it's not just that. AI lets you use creativity. The more you use AI, the more your creativity levels decrease because of how much you depend on AI. Studies show that people who use AI all the time, their cognitive level of thinking also decreases significantly. However, what is your point on using AI?
Well, I'm going to focus on companies. Successful companies are creative companies, and you need to have quick and innovative ideas in order to be a successful company. AI can help companies with supporting development of new products and analyzing market trends and consumer preferences, guiding the creation of innovative solutions. Rather than spending 2 hours on figuring out what customers want and figuring out how to solve those problems, AI can speed up the process really quick. And for companies, it is essential for quick problem solving and quick innovation.
Adding on to that, I noticed you guys use the argument that AI steals creativity from the younger kids that use it directly without any prior knowledge on any of the hobbies that they want to pursue. But I believe that AI does lack emotion, but as it's advancing, I feel like humans are still the ones making the decisions. They're still the ones that are prompting, and AI isn't really replacing creativity because of that, but they're rather using it as a creative partner.
You say we use companies, but how will that go in the long run? If people companies use it, it doesn't use creativity. It doesn't use original thought. Everyone's using AI. If everyone's using AI for creativity, AI uses that with tons of other people, and that's not original thinking. Because as you use AI, let's say you have an outcome. Let's say you put an essay that you really descriptively write about, and you wanted to use it to implement as your essay. And AI gives you an idea, but that idea isn't original, because guess what? AI uses that as similarities from other people, and other people also have the same ideas, and it influences across everywhere.
I think you mentioned how you wouldn't want to spend 2 hours working on something when AI could do it simply, but things like creativity is like muscle memory. If we use AI to just get stuff done quickly, it's taking away from our own skills.
I get the topic that AI steals from other artists, and the stuff that it generates is derived from other writers and stuff. But isn't that what authors also do? Authors can write millions of thousands of books so that they can write a book, but they don't credit every single one that they read.
That's true, but even though they use it, they don't use it as something that AI does. AI use it to everyone who asks the same
too many ideas, that could also be a situation where you would need to solve. But with AI helping you, it could be more efficient and quicker, and you'd be able to solve situations more effectively.
You say that, but AI is like, okay, so it helps you solve things quicker. But wouldn't it be better if you actually took your time and organized the thoughts yourself? I mean, think about it. When you have a lot of thoughts, you get your own original idea from those thoughts, and you create one single thing. And because of that, it's your own idea, which makes what you're doing creative.
I agree with your point that AI can be helpful. That's true, but that only happens when people are practicing their own skills. And if AI is doing most of the work for you, we're not developing our imagination or our originality. And going back to the author points you were mentioning, I think inspiration is different from creating your own work.
I see your point that AI is kind of stealing from artists, or that it's speeding up the process that where artists don't even learn at that point, and it's just like AI doing all the work. But I think to an extent people should stop using AI, but when you're actually using creative softwares and you're in the working field for creative careers, then using softwares like Adobe or like other VFX or concept art companies, they have been using AI for a really long time to generate things to just speed up the process. And it's still the artist's intention behind it, but they're just creating the term and the visuals.
Also, I do agree that it could be nice to take your time and sort out your creative inputs into one. But this is the real world. We do not have that time, especially once you grow older and get jobs. You need to have solutions quick. Things can happen and you would never know when those happen. So you need to have problem solved and you need to have innovations ready.
If you want to have more time to do it, you don't have to technically use AI. There are other platforms that you can use for free that don't include AI, because these platforms can help you think about other ways to save your time and use it more efficiently. You don't exactly have to use AI, but you can use other things that don't use AI either.
Can I ask what those platforms are?
One of them are MIT Interventions. They're a platform that is for free. You don't have to pay money for it, and it gives you ideas where you can use to solve efficiency and time management. And you can also, you can use organizations or calendars to also efficiently time yourself.
Going back to what Austin said earlier, we were talking about how artists use the AI. And I think that's a bit different because that's where the technology is supporting the artist's own creativity. But a lot of people don't use AI to support them, but rather they use it to replace their own work, which is where the problem is.
The point I was trying to make was just that designers use it for iteration and rendering, because when you play video games or anything like that, the concept artists, they can't render every single landscape picture that you see and create the quality on time, when AI can just create the overall image and then the artist puts their tone or the mood that they want to. That's what I'm saying. They're using AI to put the mood, but those ideas come from AI. They're from all over the place. So it's not your original thought, but even though you put it in and change the tone, that doesn't really make it original.
Just because AI gives you instant results, that doesn't exactly make it good. You're losing your ability to be patient and your long creative processes of revising and practicing things too.
When you talk about how AI doesn't help you have an original thought, what do you mean by that? Because even if AI wasn't here, let's say a few years ago, you would still not be having original thoughts technically, because all those quote-unquote original thoughts would come from other things that you have seen as you could you explain that there's a difference between those?
That's what I had previously mentioned. That's like more like you're getting inspired with other things, but using AI is different because it's more than just like when your inspiration for work, you're kind of taking that and replacing it with your own work.
We ran out of time, but you guys did amazing, and you can return to your seats now. What I learned a lot, and I really love hearing the students' perspectives on this. I just want to say, like, it's making me think about some things right now. I'm going through some job interviews, and the topic of AI is coming up a lot on those job interviews and whether I use it or not. So, very timely topic and great discussion. Thank you so much. Our third and final question for the debate, I would like to welcome 2 new folks from each team. From Krish's team, I'd like to welcome Bhavani and Ishan. And from Samantha's team, I'd like to welcome Sarana and Rajab. The question for you guys, and we're going to start with Krish's team for the pros. Is AI doing more harm than good on social media? Is AI doing more harm than good on social media? Over to you guys first.
Alright, starting off, does AI help with social media? Does it make it better? Yes, it does, for obvious reasons, because it's informational. You can see informational videos all over the place. And yes, I get it, there is videos out there that show like doorbell ring cameras with like dogs and cats. But that's not the only part that's made out of AI. There are videos out there explaining the physics behind why top works or why the earth spins for a reason. There are AI videos that can be informational.
Okay, I agree. There are AIs that videos that can be informational, but how many videos have you seen that are informational versus how many are misinformation? AI spreads a lot more misinformation because it's a lot more entertaining, especially to us. So it hijacks social media algorithms and it spreads all this misinformation and false news out, and that's what we're consuming, not the positive parts.
I'd like to also like to add like brain rot, it's not figuring out all this stuff, which is like super repetitive. There's no point. It's just humorous. It's not even like funny. Like I don't know why people find it funny. It's meant to hook you in, so it's doing more harm than good.
Alright, so I'd like to start with a poll from the audience. How many of you have seen any sort of AI video? It can be from like Instagram Reels to like full like 1 hour long YouTube videos. Alright, how many of those, okay, keep your hands up, keep your hands up. How many of those have been informational? Alright, everyone's hand should be up because that's Alright, so to prove my point, AI is very informational. Alright, people use AI to make their social media work better. Like you can edit videos faster using AI. You can enhance your normal human videos using AI. You can still consider those videos still be AI made.
Okay, so yes, you can enhance AI, or enhance social media using AI.
Up.
I guess you can use AI to enhance social media, but well, the amount of AI that's being used in the reels is more than the AI that's being used to actually enhance the AI, and we are also seeing like AI voice modulations. Huge thing about AI voice modulations is the fact that it's being used in scams and it's being used in catfishing, and they have fake accounts that can catfish someone in order to steal their money. What do you say about that?
I can do an impression of that. So basically, there's humans who can change their voice, so you can't really know if it's AI or not. So you can't, that's not a solid play you got there. So proving on with my point, AI is a great tool that you can use in social media, and my partner here would like to add on that.
It's not only, you can also use it for content ideas. So I'm a photographer, I know a bunch of photographers. I personally take pictures of planes, so I need inspiration, right? I can't always be taking from the same angle. Like, sometimes you need to go to the back, sometimes the front. And it's not only plain stuff, right? You can take pictures of, him. You need inspiration. It's not only photography, but it gives you inspiration, it gives you good ideas. Say, you can do the same thing, you can go on Google. It's not going to give you the best inspiration, right? It'll say take pictures of cats and dogs. How many pictures of dogs and cats have you seen on social media? Way too many. So, come on, you can see good ideas.
You can also create big pictures using those, and they actually look way better because, like he said, airplanes. I guarantee you, most of you do not know much about airplanes. Some of you might be airplane experts, but me personally, if I look at an airplane, I would not notice the little details that look different. I would not notice that the AI photo of an airplane is different. I would think it's real. So it can actually help the content creators in a way to, post like those pictures of like, quote unquote big pictures.
So you're kind of putting up on here. So you can't tell the difference between a real and fake plane. And this is not happening for other situations. Also, the photo, this really well.
Okay, and also you mentioned using AI to help you get ideas about what to take in photos. But if AI is giving you the ideas and AI is doing the validation, then where is the human creativity? Where is the human part of social media?
Who's taking the pictures?
Okay, if you take the pictures, AI is going to be taking pictures, it's still taking pictures. AI is going to be doing your job, man.
It's not magic. But right now,
Okay,
what's happening?
but look at the job market right now. AI is taking over, and it's taking over a lot of the jobs that currently humans were doing, and that the same thing's gonna happen with social media. Their growth is good, their income's AI.
I'd like to add on, AI is also negatively affecting mental health. Because when you watch something and you see somebody and they're for example, they're really strong and you want to work out. You can't cheat it. It'll make you really motivated. So what do you say for that?
That's just the algorithm.
So, hey, ChatGPT, can you give me a reason why AI should be on social media?
You know what, the shows you can't think for yourself.
You can use, platforms, they can use AI to, get rid of the misinformation, right? Algorithms, they're AI. For example, they can also use it to get flag, misinformation, hate speech, and even threats and terrorism. They can, flag that, report it to the authorities. So there's goods to it too.
I mean, there are goods, but I feel like the bans outweigh the goods.
Explain.
Okay, wait. You said AI can remove terrorism topics? AI is actually known as 14% of the terrorism topics that's going on right now because they use AI to create propaganda and they spread those propaganda figures.
Going back to the school stuff.
Do you feel like you got your cut? That got very entertaining at the end there. That was good. Thank you guys. Very thoughtful, great listening skills, great debate. I loved it. I hope you had fun with that. That was a good topic that you all chose. Okay,
be fully yours? That's the part no one wants to admit. AI doesn't just make things easier. It makes it easier to stop trying, to stop thinking, to stop questioning. And the more that we accept that, the more we lose something that we cannot get back. Because critical thinking isn't automatic. Creativity isn't automatic. Independence isn't automatic. They require effort. And right now, AI is giving us a way to avoid that effort and calling it progress. But let's be real. Progress that weakens our ability to think is not progress. Convenience that replaces creativity is not innovation. And technology that quietly controls how we see the world is not harmless. So before you decide which side you agree with, ask yourself one final question. Are you in control of AI, or is AI in control of you? Because that answer to that question doesn't just decide this debate. It defines the future that you're choosing to live in. Thank you.
So, for respected moderators, we have demonstrated that while the opposition fears technology, we embrace it, its potential to solve real-world problems. We remain firm in our stance that AI is a tool for progress, not a replacement for human effort. So, I wanted to kind of go and recap all that we talked about. So, for schools, the opposition claims that students will use AI to cheat. However, AI is a tool that enhances productivity, helping students find reliable sources. Features such as Google's double check and Gemini's self-testing and quizzes, AI enhances the learning process by giving every student a tool to verify their work and improve their accuracy. For creativity, the opposition argues that AI makes kids less creative. Successful companies use AI to spark innovative ideas and solve problems more efficiently. AI handles the repetitive work, freeing humans to focus on strategy and imagination. And lastly, we're going to be talking about social media. The opposition notes that misinformation exists, but AI, the only tool fast enough to keep us safe, powers and filters that hate speech and violence in real time, creating safer digital spaces and providing inspiration. So finally, the opposition asks why AI is needed when there are teachers, artists, and moderators. AI makes them better. It's not about replacing humans, it's about helping humans. So I call to vote for a safer and more creative and more informed usage of AI. I support the motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Great closing comments from both sides. Okay, folks, I hope we learned something from the debate. I sure did. I think the students really pulled off strong arguments on both sides. Thanks for that. And now we're ready to move on with our program, and let me welcome up Anand for some vote of thanks.
Respected guests, mentors, proud parents here, and young leaders. Good afternoon to everyone. Before I start my speech, I would like to thank our Lord Shri Sai Baba for giving us strength, guidance, and blessings. Today marks the day, not end of the program, but a beginning of a successful journey ahead for the young kids. Here be truly inspirational and with your speeches. First and foremost, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our incredible mentors, Simone, Sherry, give a big hand. Your patience, dedication, and encouragement have been a guiding light for young minds. You did not teach only the leadership skills. You inspired greater confidence. You encourage them to come out from their comfort zone, from the hesitation to be more courageous to speak on the dais. You have made a great impact on these young leaders so that carries them forward far beyond this program. To our amazing leaders here, today is your moment. Your enthusiasm, willingness to learn, and your inspiring speech, what I've seen today and the debate as well, have been a great confidence building in yourselves so that you can perform well in your future career. Congratulations. And you also prove that leadership is not a perfection, but a constant growth and persistence. I have so much confidence that you will do better in your future journey. I would like to thank the parents here for your constant support, encouragement for these young leaders. With the level of confidence you have given to them and support, that is the result of their success, how they perform today. Give a big applause to our parents as well. And finally, I would like to thank our Radha, our coordinator for this program, Srikanth, who will be helping us constantly for all this right from the day one to have this program to be more successful until today. Thank you very much. Not least, I would like to thank our Sharad, who have been helping us with all the communications that we have for the flyers, and also for today's broadcasting, and also for any issues he's been helping us from this program to be successful. Thank you very much, Sharad. And also like to thank our board chairman Manita Reddy and also vice chairman Ganesh Subramaniam and all others who have been actively supporting us for this program to be successful today, and also for the future programs which they're going to be with us. To conclude, I would not say this is the end, but it's a stepping stone for the young kids. When you step out into the new world, I would like to see you inspire the fellow audience with your greater confidence and try to show you as a role model what you have learned in this program and share with all your friends so that we would like to see future programs to be conducted here in this time. And I would like to say thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to be here to speak with you all today. And I'm blessed and also pleasure to be here to be conducting this program for the Toastmasters program. And today we'll be concluding with the graduation ceremony for the Toastmasters Youth Leadership 2026. And before that, as a part of our tradition, we would like to honor our mentors. I would request Simon and Sherry, please come here and we'd like to do that. I would like to request Ara to come here, please. Simon, please give a big hand.
day, like, when we told them to speak for 3 minutes, approximately they spoke for 45 seconds to 1 minute. And today, most of them were speaking more than 5 minutes and they're not ready to give the mic. That's the transformation we are going to see. And today's topic, we are really proud of you. Please do the best work and I feel well going to succeed. And I would like to thank Srikanth, who's been supportive from day one, organizing this program. I would say because of him, we have got his mentor. Thank you so much, Srikanth, for helping us. And we are really proud to be part of, in collaboration with the Toastmasters Club as part of Event. And we have to keep doing it so that it will be helpful for many kids, to help them and grow better in their life. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anand Dada. Without this, we could not have done because he was there right on top, like every day, every week, Saturday, without fail, he come, arrange the classroom, make sure everything is there. Because without his support, I don't think we could have done this program successfully. So thank you so much, and we would like to have
Thank you so much, and it has been a pleasure, and the reward that I get weekly and just seeing the student is so much more. It's priceless, and thank you for acknowledging, Shelly and also Shrikant, but just being here and to plant a seed and hopefully the students taking this further is all that I need, but I do thank you for that acknowledgement. Thank you. Radha, thanks for acknowledging Anand. I would like to say, when I think about Anand, I think about him as a servant leader. A servant leader who's there to inspire and who's doing his very best for the next generation. That's how I see Anand making sure that, and trying to see how he can help the students. Week after week, we come, the classroom is ready from the day before. The prints are in place. So I would like to thank the board here and just being able to host this workshop. It goes a long way. Thank you. At this time, to conclude this showcase, we do have certificates for the students. It's an 8-week program, and the condition is that the students cannot miss no more than 2 meetings. So everyone successfully completed the program, and so this time I'd like to have Shelly bring the certificates and also to help me present the certificates to each student. Our first student is Bhavani Vipura.
Thank you, Sherry and Simon, and I don't have any words to praise you for completing this successful spring session, and I would like the Toastmasters International Club to collaborate with us for the fall session as well, and we are all excited to be a part of that program as well. And having said that, thank you very much for all the good leaders for today's graduation. Congratulations. Do well in your classes. And parents for supporting this. And for all the audience who watch live, and we would like to start our youth leadership program shorts in September, probably the 3rd or 4th week of September this year. So please look out for the flyers on the TV, weekly newsletter, and also our SSNC website. And we make registration open right after that week or so that we have more students. And one thing what we got the feedback from this session is, if you see all the leaders of high school and there are a lot of middle school parents, they're requesting us to have their kids as a part of the Toastmasters. So the next session will be a mix of both middle school and high school. And that we designed for that, and I would request all the parents just pass on the word how your kids did, and we would like to have more participation from your other families. And if you want to rejoin, I mean, you're welcome to do that, but that's what, and we're going to do it the 3rd week of September, and please look for it. Thank you very much, and we're going to have snacks and some drinks arranged as refreshments for all the participants, and also for the mentors. Please do join us, and it's been arranged in the backyard. Please do be here and have that celebration as a part of this leadership program graduation ceremony. That's it. Thank you very much. And we're going to have a group photo with the mentors, all the students, and rather all the kids can come here.